Hey, inner wisdom friends, we have Tara with us for killing our limiting beliefs. Lots
Yeah.
of us are not doing our things because we have limiting beliefs. So let's welcome Tara to tell us how to deal with limiting beliefs. Hi, Tara, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So tell us more about who you are, what do you do, and why limiting belief?
Yeah, so I am a business owner. I started a nutrition coaching business where I help people learn how to create and sustain healthy eating habits. And when I started my business, what I really suffered from was self-limiting beliefs. It's actually the reason why I took so long to start my business. I have been passionate about helping people fix their nutrition for years. I have practiced it myself. I got certified 5, 6 years before I even started this business. I just never felt confident that I could be successful doing it because of my self-limiting beliefs. And my self-limiting belief was, I'm not good enough. Who would want to buy from me? Who would want to work with me? There are other people who are smarter, who are more experienced, who are more qualified, who have, more certifications and better education. And I suffered from what people refer to as imposter syndrome, which I always thought imposter syndrome was that you feel like you're going to be figured out. And I never felt like people are going to figure me out because I always felt like I was honest and authentic. But I didn't realize that feeling like you're not good enough is imposter syndrome. And most people suffer from this, even very, very successful people. You'll hear them talk about they suffer from this just before they get on stage. It's a normal thing to feel. And what I've learned is that everything is figure outable. Everything can be learned. Every skill can be honed and can be mastered. And so if you know that, you can kind of free yourself from that self-limiting belief by every time you start to have that thought comes up of, what if I'm not good enough? What if they don't like me? What if my product isn't the best? You can talk yourself off that ledge and say, well, I'll figure it out. I'll adjust, I'll learn, I'll practice, I will get better at it. But you're not going to get any better at it if you completely avoid confronting the fear. So what I started doing was taking a step away from the expectation of outcome. That has been the biggest change for me when it comes to self-limiting beliefs. I've decided to focus my intention on the intention itself. My intention is to be of service. My intention is to help people, and stepping away from my expectation of outcome. So every time I'm about to start a project or I'm going to have a conversation or a potential client, and that little tinge of fear comes in of, you might not be good enough, instead I say, I'm going to figure out how to be good enough. I'm going to hone my skill and my craft. I'm going to learn how to make it better. And I confront the fear by doing it anyways. I'm going to go into it, do it anyways, and then I will review how I did and make necessary adjustments. It may not be perfect the first time. It may not be my best, shot the first time, because you can only do better when you know better. So that self-limiting belief of not good enough, it exists for everyone. It's not unique to you. Once you accept that, you can say, okay, that is one thought. What can I replace that thought with? I'm not good enough. I'm going to replace it with, I'm going to learn how to be good enough. I'm going to practice being good enough. I'm going to tell myself, you don't have to switch the conversation to, I am good enough, even if you don't believe it, but you could switch it to, I'm learning to be better every day. That inner dialogue, you can have a different conversation with yourself. Instead of, I'm not good enough, I'm learning how to get better every day. Every time I practice this skill, I'm getting better. Every time I confront this fear, I'm getting braver. Every time I do this thing, I'm going to get more confident doing it. It's going to become more natural and normal for me. And that not good enough may always be there, but it doesn't have to control you.
That's awesome. So what is the mistake you did when you felt like you're not good enough? So what you want to say to your previous self when you get that thought that you are not enough? What do you want to say that child or that girl to feel that she is enough?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you talk about inner child. So I cry when I think about my inner child, because I think about this little girl who has big dreams, who has visions of creating and doing all these beautiful things and living in harmony with the universe. And there has always been somebody who said, maybe it's not going to happen, or maybe you should try something else, or you might not be successful at that. And part of my self-limiting beliefs come from that little girl who was told she might not be good enough. And what I do instead is I think, I'm a mother of 2 little boys, and I would never tell my children that they can't achieve something that they want to put their mind to, because I know that is not true. Every single successful person in history put their mindset on something and practiced it and honed their skill and learned and inspired and was of service. I know that anything you want to do, you can learn how to do and become successful at. Even if you're not successful today, it's still possible. All potentials exist. So I think about being the mother to my inner Tara. I think about this little girl, this little, pure soul that has these visions. And would I tell her that she's not good enough? Never. I would never say that to her. I would tell her that with hard work and dedication and curiosity, feed your curiosity, that you can achieve anything you put your mind to, and you might achieve more than you can even imagine. So I think about that all the time. Telling that inner child version of yourself, being the motherly, compassionate, encouraging version of yourself to that person. What would that be like? And then accept that she lives within you. She is within you. So anytime that little voice comes in that says you're not good enough, as a mother, if somebody said that to your child, what would you say to that? You would fight for your child. You would say, absolutely not, that is not true, and I'm going to prove it to you, and I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to practice, and I'm going to get better, because that's a lie.
So you want to give us some affirmation or something to be affirmative and be limitless?
Yeah, to be limitless. All right. So if you're struggling with saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not skilled enough, then I would switch that into, I'm working at becoming better every day. I'm making an effort every day at being the best version of myself. If you think you're not smart enough, you could say, I am learning new skills and I'm getting smarter every day. I've actually done that myself, where I'm going back to school and I struggle with school. And instead of saying I'm not smart enough, I can't keep up, I say, you know what? I may not know it now, but I'm going to know it soon enough. I am learning how to get better at it, and I'm going to put the effort in to get better at it, because that is my character. That is my integrity. That is my soul. My soul wants to earn it. And so instead of just accepting that you're not good enough, what if instead you changed the intention to, I'm going to learn how to be good enough. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to work hard for it. I'm going to earn it, and no one can take that away from you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tara.
You're welcome.
So tell us, what is your morning habits or morning routine? Like we
Yeah.
all are struggling.
Yeah. So when all the COVID restrictions started, I found that rituals really gave me a sense of security and calm among the chaos that was going on in the world. And I started with making my bed. Every morning before I leave my room, making my bed. And I know that sounds really silly to some people. I never made my bed before COVID. I just want you to know, I have spent 31 years of my life never making my bed. and it wasn't until COVID struck that I really recognized I need structure. That makes me feel safe. And so part of that could be living in a structure or an environment where there isn't a lot of chaos. And part of that could be the safety and security and calm of your bed. And so taking pride in making your bed and starting your morning with feeling a sense of accomplishment is really helpful. I also start my morning with my favorite coffee and my favorite cup. Everyone's got their rituals. Mine is favorite coffee, favorite cup. That sets the tone for my day. It's really that first sensation of taste that I love, that I look forward to, that I can kind of indulge into easing into the morning and easing into the day. That is a morning routine for me that I love. Some people, maybe they start their morning right in a rush and they feel like they're already running behind. What I have found is focus on trying to go to bed a little earlier so that you can wake up a little bit earlier and ease into your morning so that you don't feel that stress and that pressure of always running behind. That's really helpful. If you can practice some meditation in the morning, I highly recommend that, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. I've found that when I start my morning by going outside and laying in the grass and closing my eyes, I can hear sound of the earth spinning in space. I'm not sure if that sounds a little crazy, but there is this like humming that you can hear of in the silence of the morning and the birds singing and just the quiet and the calm. It really sets the tone for a day of embracing whatever is going to come at you.
I have more questions for you. So, what made you stay with so much limiting belief, so much fighting in your brain, with so much challenges? Why did you not quit?
I have quit a million times before this time.
What made you stay?
Yeah, so I actually had a reputation of picking things up and putting them down. And I really struggled with feeling guilty about that. I felt like every time I started a project and I thought it was going to lead to some success, that people didn't really take me seriously, because so many times I said I was going to start something and I would try a little bit and then it would get difficult and I would feel scared or intimidated and I would just stop doing it and go back to what I was doing before. And I have done that at least 12 years of my life. So it is totally normal to feel like you're not good enough and to pick things up and to put them down and pick things up and to put them down. But each time you do that, you get a little braver. Even if you don't get success out of it, you learn a skill, you learn something. And I can tell you that each one of those things that I have tried in the past has led me to where I am today. In the past, I started like a Shopify business and I didn't make a single sale, but I learned how to build a website, and that helped me build the website for this business. In the past, I tried to learn construction management because my husband works in construction management and I thought it would be a good career transition. There's not a lot of women in that field. And, it was an easy job opportunity for me, but I didn't enjoy the job. I didn't like the job itself. But in that, I learned how to create contracts and how to do proposals, how to in a meeting, how to take notes. And Hope is Not a Strategy was one of the books that I had to read for that job, and that book taught me how to connect with clients and to sell them a solution to their problems. So even though I may have tried and failed a million times before now, each one of those things that I tried was a lesson that got me where I am today. The difference is I feel it deep in my soul that I can't give up. I have to honor it. I used to go to bed at night praying. I would pray before I go to sleep, and I would just ask God, the divine, or my soul to speak to me in my dreams and tell me what it is that I need to know that's going to help me, because I felt like I wasn't getting the messages. I would go through my day and feel like I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And I would have these vibrant dreams, these really intense dreams that would tell me that I needed to honor my soul. One dream that I had that was very bizarre and changed my life was this dream where I escaped prison and I ran to a house, and I went into the house and there was a mother and there was a child playing on the floor. And I said, "I'm so sorry, I'm just here to grab a few things and I'll be out of your way." And the people from the prison came to the house trying to get me to come back. And I was scared, and I saw the child scared, and I saw the mother scared, and I saw the child as almost the child version of myself, and the mother as the mother version of myself. And I saw them and I thought, I can't let this happen to them. I don't want them to feel imprisoned. And I said, I don't know who you are, what you want, but I'm not going back, and I'm going to fight for it. And I woke up. And I thought this was such a great metaphor for my life, of this feeling of there is a deep knowing that there's something I need to fight for, but I've been too afraid, and I don't even know what the thing is that I'm afraid of. I don't know what that thing is. I don't know what it looks like. I just know it feels like fear. And so I recognized that when I feel that fear, I have to fight it. I have to stand up to it. It's like the knight fighting the dragon in order to save the princess. It's the hero's journey. So I'm like, every time I feel that little tinge of fear, that is the thing I need to confront. And I refuse to let it imprison me anymore.
That's awesome. That's a great story. So can you give us what helped you in this journey? How did you change your limiting belief? Is some book help you? Some audio help you, or some coach help you? Who helped you?
Man, it's a number of things. The big thing was feeling dissatisfied in my life and recognizing that something needed to change, and accepting the fact that it was going to be uncomfortable. That was the first thing. Knowing that I wanted to have a certain level of success, and with that was going to come challenge and was going to come being uncomfortable. And I had to accept ahead of time, before I got started, this journey is going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of roadblocks. There's going to be things that make me feel like I don't want to continue, and they're going to make me want to try to give up. I read the book, I think it's the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. That book really encouraged me to push past fear, because it taught me that every time we feel that tinge of fear, that tinge of self-doubt, or we hear those negative thoughts in our own head, that's the resistance. That's the energy of the resistance testing you to see how serious you are, how committed you are, and how much you're willing to persist to make your dreams happen.
Can you share your what is the message you want the audience take from your interview?
Oh, the message I want to instate: follow your curiosity. That is the biggest thing. That will tell you where you're supposed to go. For a long time, I felt badly that I didn't have a straight career path, that I didn't know this specific job and how I was going to get there and have it all planned out. I've carried this guilt for that because I felt like that was the expectation, that everybody's expected to know what they want to do really young and pursue it and not give up and become successful. And that's the formula. And I felt like because I wasn't living that I felt badly about myself. And one day I was driving and I had this epiphany and I said, what if I'm supposed to be interested in all these different things? What if all of these things that I'm curious about make sense and they're all going to serve my purpose? That it's not just one specific linear career path to success. What if all of these different aspects of my life that I love play into the thing that I'm meant to do in this lifetime? And I heard a podcast, I want to say it was with Brene Brown. It might have been Brene Brown, and it was on Oprah's Super Soul podcast. And she was talking about how she gave a speech about purpose, about following your purpose. And I struggled with feeling, well, what the heck is my purpose? What is it?
What is the purpose?
What is it? I don't know. I try all these things and nothing pans out and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I felt so badly about that. And she gave this talk about this woman who contacted her saying that she felt so upset. Everybody talks about follow your purpose. Well, that's great and all if you know what your purpose is. And that it just reiterated that she's not going to get anywhere because she doesn't know what her purpose is. And I felt strongly connected to that. That's how I felt. And she said, some people are meant to be like a hummingbird and go from flower to flower and get a little taste of everything. And that's okay. And that gave me such peace of mind to think, it's okay that I'm curious about this and I'm curious about that and I want to try a little of this thing. It doesn't mean I have to go full force into either one of those. Maybe I take a little bit from all of those things that I experience and that I'm curious about, and I create the unique thing that I'm meant to do in this life. So if anything, I would say follow your curiosity.
Not purpose.
Yes, not purpose. Your purpose is part of your curiosity. There's a reason why you're curious.
Right. So friends, be curious, not purposeful, because your purpose is to be curious.
Yes.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.